Hello everyone, welcome on in for the final time this week to Betting Weekly Game Bet Match. It's the number one tennis betting podcast and YouTube channel brought to you in association with Bet Rivers, your hometown sportsbook. I'm your host, Nigel Seeley. Before I introduce you to our senior ATP Tour handicapper, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the like, give us a comment here, ring that bell, be notified of every time any content drops here on what is becoming the fastest growing sports betting YouTube channel out there, without a question of doubt. Good afternoon, Sean. How are you, my friend? Looking forward to this fantastic array of tennis betting we have today.
Are you being mildly sarcastic there, or?
I'm being very sarcastic, not mildly. I'm being very sarcastic.
It's not easy, is it? I mean, yesterday we didn't really have hardly any matches to choose from because of the rain in Gstaad. It was, I don't know whether you saw it. It absolutely hammered it down there yesterday. They're still playing 24 hours later, aren't they? They're still playing the first set, Michele, but he's just about to come back on 24 hours later. So we didn't have too many matches to choose from. Los Cabos, as I said at the start of the week, isn't a great tournament at all. But it is what it is. This is the bread and butter of the ATP Tour, and this is often the weeks where I find them the most interesting.
It is the bread and butter. It may not be the best, but we certainly are looking for the winners. And it doesn't really matter if you have a winner in Los Cabos, Gstaad, Gstaad, or the Wimbledon men's singles final. They all pay the same with Bet Rivers. Let's start our look at the action with a match that's tonight. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time over in Los Cabos. Before we go into the match between Nava and Yunchaokete Bu, Sean, you've watched some action there last night. Hot conditions on the hard court. Yep. What's it like? Is it going to be similar all week? It's going to be hot, isn't it? Obviously, clearly.
Yeah, it's the same all week. There's not much variation down in Los Cabos. It's basically 30, 31 all week. We don't have to worry about the conditions like we do so much in Gstaad and Gstaad, where it's raining, not raining, windy, bit of thunderstorms, all that stuff. That doesn't seem to be the case in Los Cabos. As I said, they play the matches at night to try and make it a little bit cooler, but it's hot. Obviously, that makes it more humid, less sunny and less sort of glaring heat, I suppose, but more humid, slow conditions. So it's a physical test out there in Los Cabos.
We have two players who are in action who've had decent wins in round one. The American Emilio Nava up against Yunchaokete Bu. It's more or less a pick and match with Bet Rivers. It's a funny one because there was some money for Nava, then there's been some money for Bu. The market can't really understand where to go. The current price is minus 137 Bu, plus 110 Nava. I think the plus 110 Nava may be under a bit of pressure. 1.5 is the spread. Total here is 22.5. Neither of them have had a no head-to-head record to go by, but Nava had a big win against Bublik in the first round here. And Bu coming straight from Wimbledon, and he won against Magadan. What do you think of this one? I would guess that this plus 110 with Bet Rivers and Bu is looking at the market is probably a bit under pressure here. So if you aren't going to take that, you want to get on it now.
Yeah, I think that's the bet. I think this is a good price on Nava. As I said on Sunday, he's highly motivated here, and he's one that could go far this week. If he wins this match. If people don't know about Emilio Nava, a lot of people won't. His parents are from Mexico. His dad was an Olympic sprinter. His mom was a tennis player who also represented Mexico at the Olympics. So he comes from successful sporting stock, but his parents are Mexican. He's heavily influenced, obviously, by the Mexican culture. He was born in America, but big Mexican culture in his family. Very good junior, actually. Made the boys' finals at both the Australian Open and the US Open in 2019. Lost a very, very close one, actually, to Lorenzo Musetti in the final of the Australian Open boys in 2019. And actually, on the way to that final, he beat Bu. It's probably not on your stats because it was a junior level match, but he did beat Bu on the way to that final, so he'll certainly remember that. They both will. It's not massively important now; it was a few years ago, but it's certainly not a negative for Nava, that's for sure. He was good in round one. He beat Vukic very comfortably. In fact, dictating on his serve and with the forehand. He does have some power, some weapons. Nava. He's got the power to hit through these courts. Consistency has long been his problem, but I was impressed with what he did against Vukic. It was good. And on the other side of the coin, Bu was pretty poor. I'm probably being generous in saying he was pretty poor. I mean, he won, but it was a real struggle past the world number 921. He hit 37 unforced errors, Bu, in two sets. And you got to bear in mind that the world number 921 only served at 36%. So he was basically getting all second serves from the world 921, and he hit 37 unforced errors in two sets. It's a a big contrast in form. Boo, got through, but really, he couldn't have been less impressive, really. And Nava was very, very good. And as I say, he's highly motivated here. I mean, Boo's struggled lately and this year as a whole, really. At main level, he's only won 26% of his matches. Service points won and return points won, total of 97. So he's not in any sort of form at the minute. Nava's only played 3 main level matches this year, but he's won 2 of them. And his service points won and return points won in those matches was 101, which is very promising. I know it's only 3 matches, but against good opposition as well. Vukic, Holger Rune at the French Open. It's not exactly an easy match. And he beat Van der Zandschulp at the French Open as well on clay. You wouldn't necessarily have him down as a clay man, but these are good results. Just looks like Nava's kind of on the up at the minute. It certainly in this tournament as well. For me, this comes down to motivation. As I said, it's hot, it's sticky, it's slow. Who wants it? And for me, that's definitely Nava. Or I'm certainly prepared to take a chance on him at plus 110. That it is him that's the more motivated player here. He's certainly the player that's impressed the most so far.
Yeah, as I say, that match starts at 9 p.m. this evening. There's 27 different markets available currently on the BetRivers website. Make sure it is tonight. So if you want to get on straight after the show, make sure. And I do believe that the plus 110 may be under a bit of pressure. I'm just going to check the price now because I've got a feeling it might go. But let's have a look. Nava currently is plus 102. It's gone already. So bet at 102?
Yeah. I think it's as a what they've got down as a pick'em or even tiny underdog for Nava. I think it's still decent. Yeah.
Okay, let's move across to Europe in Switzerland. Gstaad is where we're heading, and we have 2 matches we're going to discuss. Before we go on, we got a message in our. I know, Sean, you're always across our YouTube messages. So I'm sure you would have read it yesterday without me telling you about it. Burachaga. The player Burachaga, we mentioned Jorge Burachaga, the guy who scored the winning goal in the the World Cup final in 1986. Yes. That's his dad.
Is it really?
Yes, it's his father.
I did not know that. I must admit, I've not seen that much of Burachaga. It's. I mean, I don't think I've ever spoken about him on the show until yesterday. No, I didn't know. It makes sense, doesn't it? As we just talked about Nava and the sporting excellence in the families. Yeah, it does make sense. But I did not know that. So. Kudos to whoever pointed that out. I apologise that I didn't know, but there we are.
The sport and excellence in the family. That is why Lagan is an excellent football player, taken after Natasha's family skills. Let's move on to Gstaad, where we have the match between Francesco Passaro and Jerome Kim. Now, these will be 2 players that we haven't really mentioned on this show either before. Francesco Passaro, the Italian, ranked 131 in the world. Jerome Kim from Switzerland, ranked 154. No surprise that the pair have never met before. Passaro is minus 159 on the money line, plus 128 for the local lad, Kim. Spread is 2.5 here, and the total is 22.5. Talk about motivation. You've got a young Swiss player coming through here, got a good winning round 1. Passaro's already played 3 matches, though, in qualification, but I would, go in with the Swiss youngster to put off a shot could be the way to go.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from Jerome Kim. I've seen him a few times now. He's got some very, very good weapons. I think if he stays injury free, he could go far in the game. Very good serve, very big serve, forehand. Those are the 2 shots for him that will do it for him. Maybe the backhand and the movement needs a little bit of work, but he's a work in progress. He's a young lad, 22 years of age, but. On a court like this, it's obviously a quick clay court, 1,000 metres of altitude, assuming that, actually, just looking at the weather, weather looks all right, actually, for tomorrow. Just digress slightly there. It looks all right. It's going to rain in the morning, apparently, but that's going to die out by about 8, 9 o'clock, so it should be fine for the rest of the day. So assuming that it plays a decent pace, he's got a good chance for me against Passaro. He actually won 88% on his first serve, Jerome Kim, over 3 sets in his first match. That's a very, very high number. So if he serves well again, he's well in this match. If you look at what Passaro's done at main level, he's tended to do well in Italy and not so well outside of Italy. Outside of Italy, he's only won 3 completed matches at main level, and he's 3-8 win-loss at main level away from Italy. In Italy, he's won 6 and lost 8. So he's one of those players that he's played very well in Rome a couple of times. He's one of those players that does doesn't shy away from the home crowd, and they do motivate him. It can go either way with these players, but he's certainly one that's shown his best form at home and not so much away from home. So there's certainly a question mark over his form outside of Italy. Kim's obviously playing at home. He was very close to beating Hugo in a match that I watched end of last season indoors in Basel. I think it went to 7-5 in the third in the end. There was nothing in that. I saw Humbert just scraped it in the end, 7-5. He's had a lot of injury problems since then, Kim, certainly this season, illness as well. But he's fit now. He also, the other thing I like about him here is that he trains in Kitzbühel, where they're playing next week on the ATP Tour. That's also at altitude. That's about 700 odd meters of altitude. So you would think that would be an advantage here. A guy that's very, very used to playing in the altitude conditions. He also played on centre court yesterday, whereby Passaro played on court 1. So he'll have he'll be attuned to the conditions on that court as opposed to a different court. I always think it's an advantage if you've played on that court and you're going back on it rather than coming in from a different court. So I don't know whether I've just been a bit greedy on this one. I kind of want a slightly bigger price on Kim, at plus 128. I'm not sure whether to press the button on that. Kim's the way I want to go here. I'm just not entirely sure it's quite a big enough price.
Let's have a look where the market is heading. I think plus 128 is the best price in the land as we speak now.
Okay.
That is the best price you will get in the marketplace, plus 128. And I think if you want to take it, you've got to take it now. So you're not, even though I've told you that, you're not going to take that. The market will take that plus 128.
Okay, let's go with plus 128 then. If that's the best we're going to get, maybe I'm just being...
You know where this goes. Whenever I talk you into a bet, it always goes wrong. But plus 128 is the best price currently now, and I think that market will go south.
Okay, let's take the plus 128
So, Jerome Kim at plus 128 is our second official play. Got him to get 2 official plays. I can't believe this. Okay, let's move on to our final match in Gstaad. And it's an interesting one. Before we do that, 4:30 a.m. Eastern time is these matches start. So make sure you get the bets on early again. It's an early start because obviously the match is being played in Switzerland with the time difference, 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. Now let's hope that anyone taking the minus 190 on Alexander Bublik doesn't see the order of play and see him start early because I don't think you'll fancy that. He's up against his good friend though, Alexander Shevchenko. Plus 150 for Shevchenko, minus 190 Bublik. Spread is 3.5 here and total is 22.5. They have met previously once before, I believe, on the main tour, and it was a win for Bublik. He won in Montpellier in 3 close sets, 6-4 in the quarterfinals in 2024. So Bublik has an advantage. I would, Bublik obviously shocked everyone by winning the tournament in Halle, got beaten the first round at Wimbledon. And obviously he's got Shevchenko, who beat the local man, Stanislaus Wawrinka, yesterday. Quite a good performance, actually, from him. Didn't give Wawrinka a chance. So, interesting one. It's because they're good friends as well. So that's sort of always a little thought process in my head thinking, I'm not quite sure how they're going to play this one out. But Shevchenko is the dog at plus 150 and Bublik at minus 190. We do have to worry about the order of play though, Sean, don't we?
Yeah, definitely with Bublik. And not just that, but it's a 250 just after Wimbledon. You've got to wonder what these two friends have cooked up for this one, what they're going to deliver. They know each other very well. Obviously both play for Kazakhstan, they play doubles together, all that stuff. I just wonder about this minus 190. Certainly not for me. I mean, Shevchenko was brilliant against Wawrinka on Tuesday. Absolutely crushed Stan. I know Stan's obviously the back end, very, very back end of his career, but I don't think there's much he could have done about that a few years ago. It was a very, very impressive performance from Shevchenko. That level that he showed against Stan was miles better than anything he's shown at main level, at least for a long time. I would argue since he beat Tsitsipas in the opening week of the season in United Cup. Again, motivation there is a bit questionable, but he certainly hasn't played anything like that in recent times. Probably the best part of a year, I would say. He hasn't played anything like that, Shevchenko. I think he said himself in the interview afterwards, he said, I'm not sure where that came from, that performance, but wherever it came from, if he does it again, then he's winning this match, you would think. I mean, Bublik's not played on clay since, obviously, the French Open when he kind of surprised everybody by getting to the quarterfinals there. And again, Shevchenko's got that advantage that he's had one match here at these altitude conditions and on this court. I can't imagine this isn't going to be on centre court. It's got to be, hasn't it? And he's already played on that court, so that's a decent advantage for Shevchenko as well. If you look at their clay records at main level, they're identical in terms of service points won and return points won total. Shevchenko 97, Bublik 97. So nothing in that you would make Bublik minus 190. Bublik's never played this tournament before, so he's not used to these sort of altitude conditions on the clay. Played well at the French, as we all know, but you've got to think with Bublik, you've got to sort of almost get into his mindset. He needed results at that point in his career because his ranking had really dropped, and he was hugely motivated. And when he is motivated, we've seen what he can do. He won Halle, he went really well at the French. Now he's a comfortable 34 in the world. I wonder if we're going to see such a motivated Bublik here. I would question it. I mean, he's only ever been priced up shorter than 1.5. That's minus $2 on clay twice before in his career, and both of those were at Roland Garros this year, and he did win both of those matches. But not somebody that you would want to back at minus 190 in a 250 the week after Wimbledon against his mate. That's for sure. I would be inclined to have a little interest in Shevchenko here. That's it scares me, to be honest, a match between Shevchenko and Bublik. It really does. But yeah, I'm tempted with Shevchenko here.
I tempted you before.
Yeah, I can't be tempted
Plus
again.
150 is the best price in the industry, and it's going south again.
Yeah,
the bettors want to bet Shevchenko.
This price could go anywhere, couldn't it? It really
It's going south.
It could. It could change again. Who knows with these two? Just to lean for me, I'm not going to be coerced into another one.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, I'd go with Shevchenko. But yeah, there is a little bit of guesswork in it for sure.
Just a lean for Shevchenko at plus 150. But if you do want to get in with Bet Rivers, it is the best price. Head across to the website, download the app, and obviously if you do have a wager on the match, you'll be able to live stream that match or any match of your choice. Loads of different matches available on the 3 250 events this week. The final event is the one in Gstaad over in Sweden. Terrible rain, as you said yesterday. There was all kinds of things going on. No, that was in Gstaad.
No, it was raining. It was hammered it down. In
Gstaad, wasn't it? It was Gstaad. It was really bad rain yesterday, and today it seems a lot better. Weather conditions seem to be a little bit better. A lot better.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to rain this afternoon, so we'll have to see.
Right.
But yeah.
What about tomorrow? What we got for tomorrow?
Looks a little bit better, but thunder showers are forecast all afternoon, so it kind of depends if they hit the specific venue or not. I mean, it's going to be warm enough, 23 degrees, that's okay, but it just depends if those thunder showers hit, and if so, how heavy they are. And yeah, so again, it's a little bit of guesswork. It doesn't look like a great forecast, let's put it this way, but this afternoon it's supposed to rain as well, so it's tough all week there in Gstaad.
We have one match we're going to discuss, and it's two players that one of them did us a big favour, and one of them didn't do us a favour. Yes, in the first round, in Dzumhur against Gaston. Dzumhur did us a favour by beating Ofner, which was a great pick for us, and it was a very good performance from Dzumhur. Gaston played very well as well to beat Zheng, which was a bad result for us because we tipped Zheng to win the match. But on the two matches, we made a profit. Now, yesterday I was on Betting Weekly Live, and I gave Dzumhur as a bet in this match at minus 125. Since then, he's been bet off the boards at minus 143. Gaston is plus 115. Spread is 2.5. And the total here is 22.5. Now, Sean will probably now get to the price where he's thinking, Dzumhur at minus 143. I can't trust him. But I did pick him yesterday at minus 125 in a daily double with a WTA match. So what's your thoughts now with the money's come for Dzumhur?
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this price, really. When I wrote this morning, Dzumhur ran about minus 120, 1.83, minus 143. That's quite some movement, isn't it? I mean, I was questioning Gaston's. This is the only match there is tomorrow in Bastad, by the way. So this is it. We haven't got anything else. I was questioning Gaston's fitness ahead of his round one match with Sung, but he does seem to be okay at the minute. He's had a lot of physical problems lately, Gaston, but he seemed all right in the first round. I would certainly been in agreement with you, Nigel, about betting Dzumhur at around about minus 120 or thereabouts. Yeah, for sure. If you look at this season on clay at main level, way ahead is Damir Dzumhur. Gaston, 30% win rate, and a service points won every 10 points, one total of 95. Dzumhur, 55% win rate, and a total of 101. So much better statistics for Dzumhur on this surface at this level this season, which would have been good enough to bet him, more than good enough to bet him at 1.83. Not so sure about this price. I mean, Dzumhur hasn't had any issues with left-handers in his career. Gaston, obviously a lefty. Dzumhur's actually got a better win rate against left-handers in his career than he has against right-handers at main level. 54% win rate in his career, Gaston, against left-handers at main level, against 46% against right-handers. So you could certainly argue he's been more effective against lefties. He's won his last 4 matches against left-handers on clay at main level as well. I mean, this will be a really entertaining match if you happen to be in Gstaad and you're thinking of going along with your umbrella. This should be a really entertaining match. There's lots of variety on show, not much in the way of power. Kind of an old school tennis match, really. Lots of drop shots, lots of creativity, probably a few meltdowns. Well, there's always a meltdown from Dzumhur, pretty much always anyway. But yeah, it's one of these that I looked at a couple of hours ago and the price has massively changed. So I can't really bet him. But I mean, if he gets anywhere near back to what he was, then I would do it. And this match is going to be, I would think, heavily return oriented. So an early break maybe for Gaston, then you perhaps get the price you want on Dzumhur. That's probably the way I'd have to play it now.
Yeah, I missed the boat a little bit on that, but I do have a daily double. My daily double was Dzumhur to win this match at -125 and Carly in the women's match to beat Avanesian. They're both tomorrow, so you still got time to bet that daily double, which we gave on Betting Weekly Tennis Live yesterday. So the price has obviously moved quite a bit since then. So they are our 4 matches. There are the 3 tournaments that we have covered. We were going to have 1 official play. I've convinced Sean into 2. I was hoping I can get him into 3 official plays. But give us the official plays, Sean.
Yeah, so they're both in... No, they're not both in Gstaad. What am I talking about? One of them's in Gstaad, which is Jerome Kim, we just talked about, +128 against Passaro, and the other one was in Los Cabos. That's tonight, actually, so I need to get on that one pretty quickly. That is Emilio Nava. I think you said +102 now, didn't you?
Yeah, he's moved to +102.
Yeah, so Emilio Nava +102 to beat Boo over there in Los Cabos.
And remember, Sean said 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight in Los Cabos. 4:30 a.m. the action starts in Gstaad, and 5 a.m. Eastern Time in Gstaad. And all the odds will be available on the Bet Rivers website if you download the app as well. Lots of content coming your way. Betting Weekly Tennis Live Monday through to Wednesday. Betting Weekly Live every day, Monday through to Friday, 4 o'clock local time in the UK, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, giving you all the best sporting advice throughout that particular day. And Betting Weekly Hardball and Betting Weekly Fast Break with the American team headed by our man in stateside, Doug Kazarian. That's it for today. Finally, before I go, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. There was exclusive content on that newsletter yesterday. There was a winner from me with Cerundolo, and there was also a Champions League bet from Jack Wright that cashed as well, and that is for free. All you have to do is subscribe at bettingweeklystudios.com. You get the newsletter on the Monday and the Insider on the Friday, and it's really good content put together professionally by the team, and it's free with extra picks and extra information from all the team here at Because We Win. Follow us on socials at Because We Win across all the socials as well. Sean, thank you as always. Pleasure. That's it for this week. We're back next week. We've got some decent tennis next week. What do we got next week? We've got
the
tournament. Are you going?
Yeah.
We've got the tournament in Austria. Kitzbühel. We have UMAG, where Sean will be. You're not going to the same place again, are you?
Next door.
Oh. Well, the all-inclusive one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's quite interesting.
Why?
We went there for the day, actually. Well, have you seen Carry On? Have you seen Carry On Abroad? The film Carry On Abroad.
Yeah. What? I don't know where this is. I don't
watch
like
that before you go.
What?
Kitzbühel, we have Kitzbühel, UMAG, and stateside. We have the tournament in Washington. Make sure you follow Sean next week on the Instagram account at Because We Win. I'm sure there's going to be some entertainment there over in UMAG. For us this week, that's it. Hopefully we cash some tickets. We're about 14 units up, I think, throughout the year so far. Looking good on the season, and hopefully we can add to that before the week is out. Take care and speak to you all again next week.